Hello and welcome to the Caymanas Park Highlight Show. In this week's edition, we recap the race card from Saturday, January 11, 2025. 10 races were contested on a day held in recognition of off-track betting operations across the 14 parishes in the island. Quite fittingly, today's feature event was the OTB Appreciation Trophy. We begin with race 1. This was an optional claiming event for 4-year-olds and up, going a distance of 1,100 meters or 5.5 furlongs.
They're off. Conundrum, the favourite, misses it. Party Princess is also left at the back. As they charge away, leaving the 5, Nothing But Trouble picks up that lead from Nina Dorada. Buzz Assault now rushing after them and making gains, these three in a tight grouping. Zion's Princess is another 2 or 3 lengths back as they leave the half-mile marker. Dancing with a Cat follows next, Absolute Blue, Traditional Boy. Last Dance races up with Conundrum now beginning to make ground after an awful beginning. Boss Is It toward the outside of Party Princess in the orange as they leave the 3 and Fiery Path at the back. They come flashing past the 5/16th, and Buzz Assault on the outside now assumes the lead. Nothing But Trouble is the closest pursuer. And Nino Dorado in the green sleeves races further back, but it is all up in front of Buzz Assault and Samantha Fletcher. They're in control as they arrive at the furlong pole. 4 or 5 lengths in front of Nothing But Trouble. Conundrum, the favourite, now coming from a long way off it, but still holding that lead. It is a Buzz Assault by 4 or more lengths. Inside the final 16, Buzz Assault and Samantha Fletcher holding off Conundrum, who is coming late after an awful beginning, and Buzz Assault and Samantha Fletcher take the first. Conundrum Unlucky is second. Close between Last Dance and Nothing But Trouble, also close between Dancing with a Cat on the Rail and Traditional Boy out wide.
So Buzz Assault gets us off to a start on our Reggae 6 at odds of 7-1. Samantha Fletcher riding there for Turnaround Williams and owner ROAD. Reporting first time of the claim, and Buzz Assault gets a job done. And I tell you, when they were turning for home there, and I saw Buzz Assault in front at 7-1, and I was looking for my top selection, Conundrum, and I saw Conundrum coming forward as a favourite, passing the furlong pole, Buzz Assault in front, and I was torn between 2 worlds there. My top selection was Conundrum, but Buzz Assault is on my pick 6, so I was cheering for Buzz Assault inside the final half a furlong there to hold on over Conundrum. So better to start the Reggae 6 at 7-1 than to have the favourite winning at even money or 4-5. So we're off to a start on our Reggae 6, 1,547 live tickets with over 6.2 million in that net pool.
Start already. Often racing. Uncle Nub goes for that lead. Equinox follows and rushing down on the outside. So Uncle Nub and Equinox sharing it. Equinox narrowly in front of Uncle Nub. 3 lengths away before we come to Crucial Alexia. Another 4 to Ahmad Ali. Pretty Caroline. And racing at the back of the field, that's Empress Nakilia. They head towards the 3, and it is Equinox on that lead, about 2 lengths in front of Uncle Nub, giving chase in a second, about 2 or 3 lengths before we come to Crucial Alexia, a gap of about 6 before we come to Pretty Caroline. Then comes Ahmad Ali, and still at the back of the field, that's Empress Nakilia, but it is Equinox still in front. Uncle Nub coming once again for a piece. It's Equinox in front, Uncle Nub worrying Equinox all the while. The grey switch down on the rail, that's Crucial Alexia, but it is Equinox, and Tevin Foster keeping Uncle Nub at bay. It's still holding on. It's Equinox, but Uncle Nub keeps coming forward. Equinox still in front and hanging on from Uncle Nub. It's a grand finish. Uncle Nub and Equinox, they're gonna hit the line together. It's too close to call. Uncle Nub or Equinox. Then comes Crucial Alexia. Pretty Caroline back and forth.
So the Pump Up OTB Trophy has an exciting finish, and it goes to Uncle Nub with Tajay Suku in the saddle for trainer Victor Williams and owner DSTL and Associates. They had a win last week with Rapida, so the good form continues. And speaking of things that have continued, put into the perspective, last race day of 2024, we had 3 apprentices that won their first races. The first one, Richie Shakes aboard Benson, beating Lady Abimalo with Tevin Foster. The second one, Demar Williams aboard Sabina, beating Tevin Foster aboard Stanislaus. And the third one in the final race of 2024, Emilia McLean aboard clown around, beating Tevin Foster aboard Medal Award. So right now, the apprentices, they're not spearing Foster any at all. Anywhere they're seen, they're licking him. So that was a lick a while ago, and a good ride by Tajay Saku, winning his second race for the season. And Tevin Foster must be wondering what is happening here, because these apprentices, they're hot as can be. They're like 10 fireside right now. So watch out, Tevin Foster, and indeed all the other jockeys, because these apprentices are making their mark in no uncertain manner.
They're off. Lady Katgara, the survivor, both at the back after awful beginnings. Medal Award comes through to get a narrow lead. Ants Attack and Sicario Man in pursuit early as they race away now, passing the 5. Security Code is just in 4th, possibly 3.5 or 4 lengths off that lead, a break of 5 or more to double the cash. The survivor pulling almost alongside. And last of all, it's a Lady Katgara not running at the moment, as the field have left the half mile and run the turn for home. Medal Award just the leader, Sicario Man harassing all the while. In behind them, Ants Attack hoping for them to fall. Double the cash now begins to make a run, but needs to find maybe 8. Security Code as they leave the 3 races next. The survivor is second from the back, and last of all, it's a Lady Katgara as they're coming into the top of the lane. Sicario Man kicking in on the outside of a Medal Award. These two now battling for it as they leave the quarter pole behind them. Sicario Man just the leader. Medal Award now shaken up and asked to come once again as they drive toward the furlong pole. It is a Sicario Man and Aaron Shatry. Medal Award and a Tevin Foster. They're in a drive, leaving the furlong pole. Sicario Man just. Medal Award finding more on the inside. These two making eye contact as they drive down the lane. It is Sicario Man now beginning to emerge with the lead. Once again, Sicario Man beats Medal Award, then double the cash. Security Code is back in 4th.
An exciting finish there in the Miggy's Sports Bar OTB Trophy, where we saw Sicario Man rallying strongly under a good ride from Aaron Chatry for owner-trainer Alfonso Harris. And Sicario Man turned the tables on Medal Award, who had beaten him the last 2 times they met. So Medal Award disappoints there as the big favorite, Tevin Foster, on the receiving end there once again. And the third was number 4, Double the Cash. 4th, number 8, Security Code. Live ticket count on the regular 6 down to 125 with 6.2 million plus in that net pool. And the catch 9 on mandatory period day down to 149 live tickets with 7 million plus in that net pool.
Rough and Racing, that's a beautiful line. As 3 horses vying for that lead. Mighty Gully on the outside, right against the rail. That is Fred the Master. Just behind them, though, that is Flag of Victory, hustling up and coming forward. That's a Fearless Mission. And about 4 lengths left out of it. That's Gravano. Mighty Gully charging on that lead, about 3 lengths opening up on this field. Mighty Gully in front of racing in second. That's Fred the Master. Fearless Mission right against the rail is third, just on his outside. That is Flag of Victory, and coming and recovering after that break, that is Gravano. They head towards the 2.5 furlong point, and now Fred the Master assumes the lead from Mighty Gully, fighting on in second. Fred the Master out in the middle of the track and looks to be full of run. It's Fred the Master beginning to pull away from these. Mighty Gully left back against the rail in third, also coming on. That's Gravana, but it is Fred the Master in front and beginning to pull away from these. Fred the Master is Omen Drive. Fred the Master and Robert Hallidine running up the score for the champion trainer Jason DaCosta. Fred the Master by about 6. Gravana is second, then comes a Fearless Mission, Mighty Gully, and a Flag of Victory.
An auspicious debut victory there by Fred the Master. And what an impressive turn of foot inside the final 2 furlongs there. Drew away in 1:12.3 for 6 furlongs, winning by 5 1/4 lengths with 57 kilos. And also, he looks to have a bright future, Fred the Master. Robert Haldane riding there for Jason Acosta and Malade Azan CD.
Portmore Entertainment OTB Trophy. They're off. Inspired Miracle misses it, gives away several lengths. Power Ranking, the favourite, now grabs an early lead. Alexa's Lodge a half a length down. Stormer come racing on the outside. Burning Valor running wide. On the rail, that's a Let Him Fly. Nakamura in between horses with a Whiskey. Rosa the Warrior forming a line of 4. A gap of some 5 lengths back to Storm. An Inspired Miracle needs to do more, left at the back last. They've left the half mile, the tempo should increase, and the favourite Power Ranking is in control, being chased by Burning Valor down against the rail. Alexa's Lodge is tucked in between horses as they go flashing past the 3. Power Ranking out in front. Burning Valor now asked to close the gap. Watch Whiskey coming on the outside of horses, but they're coming into the top of the lane, and it is Power Ranking on the head of affairs. Here is Burning Valor now asked to kick in down against the rail. Whiskey has more running to do along with Alexa's Lodge. Power Ranking beginning to drift a bit. Burning Valor continues the challenge against the fence, but it is Power Ranking inside the final furlong. Burning Valor now asked to creep closer, but Power Ranking continues to hold the lead inside the final 16th. Burning Valor now asked to come with a late charge, but Power Ranking and Richie Shakes will take it. Burning Valor is next. Then Whiskey ahead of Nakamura. Storm has finished in 5th.
The Portmore Entertainment OTB Trophy goes to the top selection. Power Ranking with Richie Shakes in the saddle for Trainer Lawrence Mantle. And that's another all-the-way win from Richie Shakes. Remember that ride aboard Benson on the final race day for 2024. So this Richie Shakes looks to have a lot of talent. And when he goes in front, he stays in front. Good ride there by Richie Shakes. Second went to Burning Valor, ridden by Emilia McLean, another apprentice from the new batch. And third went to Whiskey, ridden by Tajay Saku, another newly licensed apprentice. So it's a exacta Quinella trifecta from our new apprentices, Richie Shakes, Emilia McLean, and Tajay Saku.
We take a break now on the Caymanas Park Highlight Show, and when we return, we pick up our race number 6 on the Saturday card. Welcome back to the Caymanas Park Highlight Show. We continue our recap from race 6 on the card. This was a restricted allowance event for native bred 5-year-olds and up, non-winners of 4, also 5 years old and up importees, non-winners of 3.
7th furlong the trip, and we're ready. Ready for race 6. They're off and racing. Missing it. That is James, left at the back of the field as a Strike Smart rushes through for that lead. It's Strike Smart in front of Natural Dancer, racing down into second. Then comes on the rail, that is a Whiskid, just beside Whiskid. That is She's My Hedge Fund. James recovering after that bad break. Dimitri P is right in the mix. Sugar is rushing through on the inside, right against the rail. That's Brown Skin Girl. Then comes Dimitri P. Lion Charmer is right there too, rushing down on the outside. That is Diamond Rock. Then come Who Done It, and racing at the back of the field, that's Wayne's Princess. They go past the 3, and it is on that lead, Strike Smart. Hounded on the outside by Whiskid. It's Strike Smart and Whiskid. Right there too, that's James rushing up into it, backing out of it a bit. That is Natural Dancer there at the top of the lane. Whiskid looks to have the overall lead right against the rail. That is Strike Smart out wide. James is coming forward nicely, but it's Whiskid, and Robert Halladine is looking a second on the card. Whiskid is full of running, left back against the rail. That is Strike Smart. James out wide, and also coming on, that's Brown Skin Girl, but Whiskid driven for all he's worth by Robert Hardball Halladine, and it looks like though he'll have a second one on the card. Whiskid coasting in to win by maybe 3.5. Strike Smart is second, rushing on for third, and it's got tight for third between Brown Skin Girl and Lion Charmer. Maybe James back in 5th.
Seven furlongs. Start already. They're off. Zulu Warrior just a shade slowly out. Queen of Soul, Miss Cherry, They're on the front end and battling for that early lead, joined now by Princess Aquila, and Princess Aquila goes on narrowly from Queen of Soul. Zulu Warrior is running right in behind them. Miss Cherry out wide of horses. These four in a tight grouping down the back stretch, and Jay Spieth some 5 or 6 lengths off the lead, waited with for a late charge. They've left the 5/8 and make their way now into the final part of the back stretch and head to the half mile, and Queen of Soul and Miss Cherry do battle. Princess Aquila and Zulu Warrior raced up next. And the last of them all is Jay Spieth, needing to find more as they come now toward the final 7/16. It's Miss Cherry out in front, striding out powerfully, opening up some 4 lengths, being chased by Queen of Soul and Zulu Warrior. Jay Spieth has improved 1 place, and now Princess Aquila trails. About to arrive at the 5/16th. They're there now. Can they catch Miss Cherry? The rider having a look between his legs, and that's Ismael Velasquez turning into the lane. Miss Cherry in command at the moment. Zulu Warrior now unleashed. Queen of Soul is battling down against the rail. Jay Spieth is in the center, but it's Miss Cherry under a very calm ride. Approaching the furlong pole. Miss Cherry hands alone at the moment, continues to lead them. Zulu Warrior needs to find maybe 3, but it is Miss Cherry inside the final 16th. This is the OTB Appreciation Trophy. They're not going to stop Miss Cherry and Ismael Velasquez. They win by maybe 3 over Zulu Warrior. Then Jay Spieth, Queen of Soul. At the back of the field, that's Princess Aquila.
So the OTB Appreciation Trophy goes to Miss Cherry, half-sister to Mojito, stretching out for the first time since running in the Thornbird 6 at 7 furlongs. That she really appreciated the extension journey today and won comfortably. Ismael Velasquez riding there for trainer Richard Azan, and they teamed up last week with the band. An upset win there at 8-1, so they continue the form to this week, getting the job done with Miss Cherry.
Ready? And we have a line. They're off and racing. Lord Espo misses it and is left at the back of the field. Ruby's Light goes into an early lead. Tracked on the outside by Big Pop. Rushing down on the outside, that's Fort Haldane. So Fort Haldane, Big Pop and Ruby's Light are fighting for it. Rest coming on in 4th, that's Yorkis. Then comes Lucky Papa, Undeclared War, and Lord Espo left at the back of the field. They head towards the 2.5 furlong point, and it is Fort Haldane in front. Fort Haldane with that lead, chased by the trio of Yorkis, right against the rail. Ruby's Light, Big Pop in between horses, but it's Fort Haldane still in front, and Robert Haldane looking for a third on the card. Can he get it? It's still Fort Haldane traveling powerfully on that lead, coming to the furlong pole. Ruby's Light chasing hard in second. Big Pop right against the rail. That run tapering off from Big Pop, but it's Fort Haldane driven on the powerful handling by Robert Haldane. It looking for a third. Ruby's Light comes creeping up the rail, but Fort Haldane will hand Robert Haldane a 3-timer. Ruby's Light is second. Then comes a big Lucky Papa and Undeclared War backing 4th.
The JNC Gaming OTB Trophy goes to Fort Haldane in fine style hardball, replacing Goosey, and you get a win there at odds of 4-5. So the cash was on and the cash was right for Fort Haldane, 3rd time of asking.
They're off. Fair start, hit and run. Had it rocky at the start, along with Never there toward the back of the field, as Titan Tempo now comes up to dispute that lead. Lucy in the Sky pulling alongside. The General, the rider, having a peep behind him, is a clear 3rd. Chief Dissident running toward the outside, racing in 4th spot. Never making ground on the outside of Don't Tell Lulu, hit and run, trying to recover, and Seaplane at the back of the field. They leave the 7 and make their way to the backstretch. Lucy in the Sky tied in a knot with Titan Tempo. They take to the backstretch first and make their way now running toward the final 6. A huge gap opens up to the General. Never and Hit and Run racing with Chief Dissident A gap back to Don't Tell Lulu and Seaplane way at the back of the field is last. They've left the 6 and the leader's about to get to the 5. Titan Tempo on the rail, just the leader by 3 parts of a length. Lucy in the Sky pressing all the while. The gap opens up to the General. Hit and Run is further back with Never. Chief Dissident races next. Seaplane now begins a run and Don't Tell Lulu is at the back of the field as they leave the half mile and go spinning into that turn. Titan Tempo out in front, slipping away by 5 or more. Lucy in the Sky continues the chase but begins to falter. The General is way back. Hit and Run is under the pump but going nowhere. Never is further back. Then Chief Dissident, Seaplane, forget Don't Tell Lulu. They leave the 5/16th. They're about to come into the lane, and it is a Titan Tempo and Robert Halladine. He's looking for his 4th win on the card. Lucy in the Sky chased from the off and continues to do it. The General is back over on the rail. Hit and Run in behind them, holding on for 4th, but it is Titan Tempo under an enterprising ride, beginning to falter just a bit as Halladine pulls out the stick in the right hand, but they're way out in front. The rest tiny dots in the distance as Titan Tempo comes roaring past the 16th pole. No stopping Titan Tempo. It will take an act of God to stop Titan Tempo. God doesn't act. Titan Tempo wins by double digits. The General is 2nd. Hit and Run is 3rd. Seaplane is 4th. Lucy in the Sky backing out to 5th.
So the New Crossroads OTB and the Clock Tower OTB goes to Titan Tempo in a runaway victory, 15 3/4 lengths clear. Romped home the victory there, took the field by the scruff of the neck and showed absolutely no signs of stopping. Robert Halladine, another 4-timer, and the gauntlet has been thrown down early in the year, and we're going to hear from the Robert Hardball Halladine fans from the word go. That's the culture here at Caymanas Park. Whenever a jockey starts off with a bang for the new year, that jockey is declared the champion jockey from early out. And we saw what happened last year. The Tevin Foster fans declared Tevin Foster the champion jockey for 2024. He led for the first 9 months or more, and as you saw, the championship isn't won in January, it's won in December. So after a big start is Robert Halladine, a 4-timer thus far on the card, and he has a big favorite here in the 10th and final. So he's looking for a 5-bagger, and this one is called Runaway Star.
Runaway Star being led from the gate, and they're off and racing. A late scratching Runaway Star as Prince Roy gets the upper hand. Prince Roy goes for that lead. My Eclipse racing down there too. Also there in the mixed, that is Prince Zahir and Prince Kazir and Sensational Soul. Sensational Soul though rushing down into it, backing out. That's Prince Kazir. Then comes Royal Maverick. Behind Royal Maverick, that's Mark My Identity. Then comes Miracle Selection. Behind that one, we have One Code and racing at the back of the field, Peace Head. They head toward the 4, and it is Sensational Soul, just the leader, about a length in front of Prince Roy racing in 2nd. My Eclipse tracks them in a 3rd. Right there in 4th, that is Prince Kazir. Back there in 5th, that's Mark My Identity. Then comes about a 5 length before we come to Royal Maverick as they come entering to the top of the lane, and now going through, that is My Eclipse on that lead. My Eclipse in front, right against the rail, still there. That's Prince Roy coming with a good looking run, but it's My Eclipse in front of Prince Roy. Also coming on, it's Mark My Identity, but it is still in front. My Eclipse in front of Mark My Identity, coming on best of all, still against the rail. That's Prince Roy. It is still My Eclipse in front. My Eclipse getting out of the grasp of My Identity, trying hard to bridge that gap, but it's My Eclipse going on to score from My Identity. Mark My Identity. Then comes Prince Roy, Prince Kazir, and Sensational Soul back in 5th.
Another exciting weekend of racing comes to an end. Stealing this show on the weekend was the Mutema winning jock Robert Hardball Halladine, with his 4 wins on the card, only narrowly missing out on a fifer after his highly favored Runaway Star was a late scratch at the gate in the final event. This has been another edition of the Caymanas Park Highlight Show. See you next time.